Joining us today is David Yeoman, General Manager Construction Yarwun 2 Technology and Innovation at Rio Tinto. He'll be speaking at IIR's Gladstone Resources Industry Update. It takes place on the 21st to 22nd of June 2011 in Gladstone. Hello David, thanks for joining us today.
Not a problem, James. Good to be here.
First of all, what's the current state of resource development in the Gladstone region, and how does it compare with other similar regions across Australia?
James, Gladstone has always had a strong presence of industrial growth, and Rio Tinto has been integral to that, given such a large concentration of assets in the region. For instance, we've got 2 refineries, a smelter, and interests in the Gladstone power station. But there's no doubt the city's entering a new and aggressive stage of development, driven primarily by the LNG industry, but also other projects earmarked for the area. So to answer your question, the state of resources development in Gladstone is particularly intensive, and it has the potential to be sustained for some time. So if we learn anything from other regions in Australia that have undergone similar growth, it's the obligation placed on us all to ensure rigorous management of projects, not only in health, safety and the environment, but also in social areas to ensure any potential impacts to the region are managed effectively.
Can you run me through the proposals for the Yarwun 2 alumina refinery expansion?
Sure. The Yarwun 2 alumina refinery expansion was originally announced by Rio Tinto in July 2007 at a cost of $1.8 billion. The existing refinery has a production capacity of 1.4 million tonnes of alumina per year, and the Yarwun 2 expansion adds a further 2 million tonnes per year, so a total output of 3.4 million tonnes of alumina per annum once the expansion is complete. The project is almost a copy of the existing refinery, the same technology, obviously scaled up for the greater tonnage, and with some modifications coming from the in-service experience of Yarwun 1. Additionally, we've added a gas-fired cogeneration facility, which wasn't included in the existing refinery design.
Can you outline progress to date and how you actually weathered the GFC storm?
Well, we started the expansion in 2007 with the intention to hand over the refinery in the fourth quarter of 2010. As you'll recall, in late 2008, early 2009, the global financial crisis hit, and it didn't make a lot of sense to bring greater quantities of alumina into a market where prices and demand had crashed. We were asked to slow the construction process and extend the project by a further 2 years. However, having emerged from the crisis and with prices and demand recovering, we've been asked to accelerate the project by 3 months. So our completion date's now August 2012. So we're nearing our peak workforce numbers of 1,300 people. We'll be there in a couple of months. And in fact, it's worth comment that one of the strengths of our project has been that our workforce is primarily local hire, with approximately 93% of our craft workforce being local residents. As for progress, we're past the 65% complete mark. Earthworks and the majority of structural steel erection is behind us, and we've completed a number of large facilities and handed these over to the refinery for use, including the wharf extension, the additional ship unloader, and the cogeneration facility.
Can you run me through a bit more about the cogeneration facility? How is it actually reducing greenhouse gas emissions?
Well, part of the scope of the project was to reduce the reliance of the refining process on coal. Therefore, we built a gas-fired cogeneration facility, which is a large gas turbine which drives a generator to create electricity and uses the heat from the exhaust to create steam for the refining process. This 160 megawatt plant allows us to reduce our CO2 emissions per tonne of alumina by 26% relative to coal. The project handed over the unit for commissioning in August 2010, and it's currently in operation, feeding power to the national grid and producing steam for use in the refining process.
You're speaking at IIR's Gladstone Resources Industry Update, which takes place on the 21st to 22nd of June 2011 in Gladstone. How will delegates benefit from attending your session?
Well, James, I see the main benefit of this conference as the ability for people within the resources industry to share information, capture knowledge, learn from others' lessons. The Yarwun 2 project has come through some tough times in the past 3 years, and it's now running well to budget and schedule. During this time, we've come to know Gladstone and its residents well. I'm sure that our experiences can provide some context on the environment that new projects are moving into, which not only has financial and schedule implications for those projects, but it also helps frame their corporate social responsibility initiatives.
David Yeoman, many thanks for your time today.
Yeah, very welcome.